Now, from the downtown of Northwest Arkansas, in Uptown Rogers, with weather from Bentonville to Fayetteville, Fort Smith, and beyond, here's Oz weather meteorologist, Garrett Lewis.
Hey there. Hope your day is off to a great Sunday. We have cloud cover that's moving through. Now, the big weather story today is the warmth and the wind. All right. So we're close to 80 in Fort Smith. We're in the mid 70s in Northwest Arkansas. We've got south winds all day, a high fire danger. Ironically, this is the time the Forestry Service actually does controlled burns. You found that out in Clarksville yesterday. You'll probably see a little bit more of it today. Let's see what's going on out there looking live. This is going to be from looking north out from the Pinnacle area, from Uptown Rogers, looking out towards Pea Ridge, which would be out in the distance. Right now, we actually have some cloud cover that's been passing through. It's this little weak disturbance moving across Kansas. I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. But going back to those controlled burns, I did put a link on the Oz Weather website. The shortcut to it is just nwaweather.com or oz-weather.com, and you can get these controlled burns. They update them every day. They didn't have any when I first started putting this together this morning, but they may add some during the day. Missy Massey sent this to me. She was coming back from the Hot Springs area, headed off towards the north, and look at that controlled burn. My goodness. Isn't that a lot of smoke? So this smoke drifts obviously wherever the wind goes. We had north winds yesterday. We're back to more of a south wind today. So any of those controlled burns that occur out there are going to be happening with those winds pushing some of that smoke probably more towards Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas, should there be any controlled burns in the Ouachitas later on this afternoon. So what about this cloud cover nonsense I was talking about? Let's look at it. You can see those clouds moving from the northwest to southeast. This is the water vapor image just because the visible satellite isn't all the way up yet. Just you've got not much daylight to work with, so it's just a couple of scans. But the water vapor shows you what's moving through here. It's just a little weak wave that's giving us a little bit of cloud cover in Northwest Arkansas and Fort Smith early today. That should start to move out, though, as we head into the afternoon. It doesn't look like we'll see a lot. Let me load the visible satellite here and see if you can find anything. Yeah, see what I mean? Not much on visible, but we do have that on the infrared satellite looking at water vapor. So this is going to be the temperature forecast. And what I thought we could do here is see how this plays out. Now, the one thing I think is interesting here is that we're not really looking at a very as high of a risk of severe weather on Tuesday night. So if I switch over real quick to the Storm Prediction Center before I get to this, you can see the marginal area extends back into the area into our region. But yesterday the slight was here, and if you've been watching us over the last couple of days, I've been talking about how the energy is on the east side of the trough, which leads to more lifting, whereas on the west side of the jet stream, it's more digging. Digging is stronger, lifting is weaker. So as it lifts, it's also shifting a little bit of that energy to the northeast, which is why the severe weather risk has shifted a little more towards Missouri and Illinois. This has been a trend for the last 2 or 3 days, so I do think the overall risk of severe weather is somewhat lower, still about a 1 on a scale of 1 to 5. Doesn't mean you're not going to have any bad weather when it's low. It just means that it's not as high as it could be for this time of year. When you head into late February, you start to get these big clashes of temperatures. You can see this front come through, and this thing just looks crazy, doesn't it? Or maybe wonky. That could be a better word. This cuts through Wednesday morning, though. So the chance of storms is actually Tuesday night, but the cold air lags and it moves through somewhere between 7 in the morning, 9 in the morning Wednesday. And then we're all just really cold. This is around noon ish on Wednesday. We're below freezing in Northwest Arkansas, and we're only around 37 down towards Fort Smith and South Oz. So yeah, there's going to be a big drop in temperatures. That risk of showers is still in the forecast too. Um, Again, I think that the overall risk of severe weather is less. Let's see if I can get this loaded for you heading into Tuesday afternoon. So you can see that moisture start to move up Tuesday. The front moves in. This is the stuff Tuesday evening about 9 o'clock that may be severe. There's a lot of convective feedback on this, meaning the model is just painting a bunch of green blobs without really understanding what's happening. But I do think that there's going to be some storms embedded within this until everything sweeps east, mostly because we have all of that. All that warm air that's out there ahead of the boundary, which is going to give us a chance for storms. Not everybody gets soaked with this. I feel like southeast Missouri around the Boot Hills probably going to get a heavier rain, probably a higher severe weather chance around Illinois, eastern Missouri. Nonetheless, we're getting into the spring season, and this is the time of year you have to be really cautious with all these storm systems. They tend to do some surprising things, especially May. All bets are off by the time May rolls around. I also have the Oz Weather app. Been working on this, adding a couple of new features. In fact, yesterday I was working on a severe weather layout, so I'll be doing that for us. Our next severe weather event, we will be able to link up and get some important links for across the region for not only live streaming but also some information flow for damage reports, latest watches and warnings, and things like that. So overall, not a bad looking Sunday, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. I think it's going to be a warm and windy one. I hope you're able to get outside. But keep in mind, too, there could be some controlled burns that may give you a little bit of allergies. And there could also be the tree pollen. It's starting to come back, and that could give you some problems as well. Hey, enjoy your Sunday. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning or maybe a little bit earlier. We'll see.